Today we've got Mike coming, who's an outdoor YouTuber, and he's coming to learn about how our ancestors might have created one of the most powerful forces in human history, fire.
Hi Sean, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Welcome to the farm.
Thank
nice to have you. You're here to learn about fire today.
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, we're going to transport you to our Stone Age area. You follow me.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start in our Paleolithic period, which is approximately 2.5 million years ago, which puts this in context, quite old.
Yes, yeah.
Paleo meaning old and lithic meaning stone. And that's where we've got the first reputed evidence of man making actual fire. And they found that in Kenya, near Lake Turkana. They would have obviously been hunters and gatherers, so travelling around, sort of where the food is, and fire was obviously a very important part of their everyday lives.
So would they have rolled these off, taken, rolled them up and then walked off to follow the herds?
Absolutely. So yeah, so this is something that they could put together very quickly.
Sure.
And then sort of if they were staying there for a couple of weeks, they've got the actual somewhere to go where they can be nice and safe and warm.
Flat pack roof really, isn't it?
Flat pack roof, yeah. And then over here we've got another example of a Mesolithic structure, and it's believed that they would have built this one in somewhere where they had to go back to on a very frequent basis. So
semi-permanent.
Semi-permanent, yeah.
Wow. And in terms of the cordage, what would they would have used back then?
Yeah, you can use a variety of organic materials. So you can use nettles, brambles, lime bass, bark from trees, even roots. And then we can go on to our Neolithic, and we can see that actually they've now started to build some quite impressive structures. So
more of a fixed structure now.
More of a fixed structure,
yeah.
Yeah. So in the Neolithic periods, that is the farming revolution. So this is where people started to learn to domesticate animals, and because you've got a farm, you've got the food close to you. You don't need to go hunt and gather. They're still doing that, but you've got the ability to build sort of more permanent structures. And this one was found near Horton, near Heathrow Airport, and it's one of the largest Neolithic structures they've found the evidence for in Europe. And it is truly impressive.
It's really impressive, and that's a lot of thatch.
That is a lot of thatch. And I know that because I pretty much did quite a lot of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Should we go in?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Go straight through. Here we have fire. We've got a lot of evidence archaeologically for fires, including sort of burnt hazelnuts, bones and sort of charred earth. And in fact, all the buildings at the farm have got evidence of a fire pit in them, which archaeologists can actually see with the charred ground, apart from this one, rather ironically, and we don't know why, and we probably never will.
Strange, isn't it? Yeah.
It is strange.
You'd think it would because of the size of the structure.
You'd think so, yeah, so we just don't know what it was used for.
How do you think it was discovered in the first place? It's something I've always wondered and thought about while sat around a campfire. How did that first person discover fire?
We can't answer with any great 100% certainty, but we obviously know that lightning strikes cause fires, and it is believed that obviously someone was inspired by that. I think actually what we need to do now is actually see if we can recreate fire like our Stone Age cousins did all those years ago, possibly millions of years ago.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, just going to go straight out the door.
Out the door, let's go.
Yeah. So we're surrounded here by flint. One of the common myths is that you can make fire by striking flint on flint. I'm afraid it's not true, but you're more than welcome to try if you want.
Might be here a while.
You will definitely be here a while. And the reason for that is you basically need something that's actually going to make a spark. What you actually need is marcasite. So this is the nodule, and what you need to do is split it. This one's not actually big enough to light fire with, and inside it you've got tightly packed pyrite and sulfides, okay? And it's the sulfides which will actually create the spark.
Well, it's heavy, isn't it? So would you get the flint first and strike it down on the flint, or the other way round?
So you hold the marcasite against your King Alfred cake, which is what you then put your ember onto. So let's imagine if that was your marcasite, you'd hold it like that, and then you strike your flint.
Ah, I see.
So that you get the spark coming straight down.
So what would they have done back then if they didn't have these kinds of materials?
Something that's actually readily available all around us, certainly in the Neolithic period before they deforested most of the country, sticks. We're going to use a wood drill. We have to bear in mind that we need heat, we need oxygen, and we need fuel. And one of the most common errors when people are trying to use the wood drills is they're depriving themselves of one of those elements. So you need a bit of preparation. So, I mean, I've got some here that have been pre-prepared by myself. This is a piece of oak, and you'll notice how there's a little sort of pit carved out in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that is allowing sort of oxygen to go into there. If you don't have that, okay, you're not going to get the oxygen in there, and basically, yes, you're going to get heat, but you're not ever going to get that sort of ember forming. When you actually also make your drill part, you do need to carve out a notch to again allow the oxygen in, and that needs to be a lot deeper than that one. Well, the knife is there if you want one.
It's quite rewarding with the flint.
The preparation work is imperative, otherwise you're going to sort of give yourself sort of injuries and blisters. So get it as smooth as you can.
Using the flint is a lot more physical exertion than what I would be used to in using a knife.
It is, isn't it?
But it's still got that sharpness. It's still, you know, it's still cutting the wood quite well.
Now that you've got your wood prepared, we're ready to actually start seeing if we can create fire. When you look at your hands, you've got natural pads on your fingers, okay? If you're not holding the drill properly, you're going to blister those. I also see people only using this part of their hands, but if you think about that, you're not then getting the full movement. So you want to try and use the entire part of your hands. And the way to make sure that you don't get blisters on your pads is to hyperextend your fingers. You want a foot onto the board, that's going to keep it steady. You want a nice straight back, and then keeping the straight back, you're basically going to use your body weight to come down.
There's small bits of smoke coming already.
Okay, over to you.
Right.
Okay, so make sure you probably want to be in this position.
Yeah, so if I go left foot.
I would suggest you move your legs slightly more out.
Yeah.
And that gives you that ability to then bend.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you want to be able to do, bend into it, yes. I've got these at the ready. In the Stone Age, people were more nomadic people, and it's essential that they could transfer fire. So some genius has worked out by using a Daldinia concertina, aka a King Alfred cake, which is a fungus that grows on trees, that if you put an ember on that, that'll slowly burn, which is a great way of transporting your fire to a new location. So when you get your ember, okay, we can transfer the ember using this onto that, and then we can take it across to our fire.
I like that you said when I get the ember, not if. There's a lot of squeaking going on. Tell you what, you make it look a lot easier than it is.
Whole hand, Mike. Whole hand. You're just using your palms.
Right. Oh no. When it pops out. What I find is when I'm doing the whole hand, I then can't get the pressure of the body weight.
So you've still got all the contact on.
Oh, with all fingers?
Yeah, but using your entire hand, yeah?
That there?
Yeah.
It's because I've got such small hands.
You're already getting more rotations in there than you were before, so it's just keeping that sort of slowly moving down. Yeah. You've got some smoke there. He's getting it now. There we go. There we go. And no squeak.
No, I've lost it.
Lost it.
Lost the momentum.
Lost the momentum.
Right. It's not happening with me.
It's gone, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm struggling, if I'm honest, Sean.
Yeah, as I say, it's one of those skills. It's one of the things you need to practice, and you're getting there. Your technique is improving, but don't worry. We have evidence of them using a sort of slightly easier technique. It's the same sort of principle. Okay, so you've got a bow made out of wood, and then you've got your cord, which is made out of natural fibre, something like brambles or sort of nettles, and then you've got your stick for your drill, and then you've got your board for making your ember. The principle is exactly the same.
I'm certainly more familiar with this than I am with the hand drill.
It's slightly easier because you've got the long bow there, so you've got all of that sort of rotation, and you can actually put all your weight on top of the stick at the same time, which increases the amount of friction you're putting on there. And the friction and the rotation, that's just going to generate the heat, which is something harder to sort of manage when you're doing it by your hand. As you found, it slips off sometimes, or it jumps out, and then you're losing all that heat.
No pressure then?
Still going, the ember?
Yep. You see the ember there?
Yeah, yeah. This is the oxygen part, right?
Yeah, congratulations. Straight through in rather few seconds.
Certainly a lot easier than the hand drill, isn't it?
Compared to the hand drill.
Yeah.
But the principle's the same, it's that sort of weight, but you can put more weight onto
Yeah.
that, and that is the sort of, you know, it's the friction.
And that's how they would have advanced, right? They would have thought, hold on, there's an easier way to do this, and as you say, humans would always take an easiest route.
Some genius sort of worked out, you know, why are we doing this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, can we transfer that to our fire pit and see if we can actually get a fire?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll let you do the honours. There we go, we've got a range of kindling here. We've
Yeah.
got some moss, we've got some small twigs.
I'm going to start with the thinnest stuff.
There we go, we have fire.
We have fire! My reputation was at stake there, I think. No, I'm genuinely relieved. It's nice when you put in that much physical effort into trying to light a fire and it's not working. I know from experience that when you do eventually get some sort of flame, it's just an incredibly rewarding experience. For them as well, it wouldn't just be that the fact that they've lit fire. They can then think, okay, now we can cook food. You know, now we can smoke meat. Now we can keep warm. It was so much more to them than just what we're doing here. Like, yay, we've got a flame.
We're going to eat tonight.
We're going to eat good.